When you picture the biggest winners in this whole AI gold rush, you probably think of like tech geniuses and expert coders, right? But what if I told you one of the most successful playbooks out there came from someone who wasn't a developer at all?
So this number, $400,000, that's the revenue we're talking about. And it wasn't made by building some ridiculously complex custom AI software. Nope. It came from tapping into a completely overlooked problem, a much more fundamental issue happening inside most companies.
So meet Matteo. He's the brain behind this whole strategy. And his background? It wasn't in coding or data science. He was a digital marketing guy. And that perspective, well, it let him see this massive gap in the market that all the tech-first agencies were just completely missing.
So the big question is, how on earth did he do it? How did he build this massively profitable AI business without being a hardcore coder? Well, he figured out that the biggest thing holding AI back wasn't technical at all. It was something else entirely. Let's break down what he found. Okay, so first we have to get our heads around this paradox that Matteo ran into. See, he started out like a lot of people, trying to sell AI automation directly to companies, but he just kept hitting a brick wall.
And this right here, this analogy just nails the problem. Companies knew they should be using AI. They were slamming their foot on the gas pedal of innovation. But inside the company, the handbrake, the culture, the resistance, the old messy processes, it was pulled all the way up. They were going nowhere.
See, the common assumption was that businesses just needed shinier, more powerful AI tools. But the reality Matteo discovered was way, way messier. Most companies were missing the absolute basics. They didn't have the right procedures or the data-driven mindset to even know what to do with AI in the first place.
So here's the bottom line, right? AI adoption was failing because the problem was human. The employees couldn't see the value. The existing workflows were a total mess, and that foundational data culture just wasn't there. It wasn't a software problem, it was a people problem.
And that realization, well, that changed everything. It led to this complete 180 in his strategy, a total shift in mindset that became the secret to all his success. He stopped trying to sell technology and started selling something totally different: understanding.
This quote right here, this was the big aha moment. He figured out that before you can ever sell someone a complex tool, you have to first sell them on the understanding of why they even need it. Once a company really gets it, buying the automation becomes the obvious next step, not some difficult uphill sale.
So the new game plan was, it sounds simple, but it was absolutely genius. Instead of pushing AI solutions from the outside, the goal was to cultivate champions on the inside, to empower employees so that they became the ones demanding better AI tools because they finally saw the possibilities for themselves. And this is the key concept they came up with, the AI champion. This isn't just a user. It's an internal advocate, someone inside the company who learns the logic, sees the opportunities in their own daily work, and then becomes the perfect bridge between their team's problems and the tech solutions you can offer.
Okay, so theory is one thing, but how did he actually do it? This wasn't just some fuzzy idea. It was a very precise, repeatable, four-step formula that was designed to turn total skepticism into real demand. And the process itself is just brilliant. First, you assess. You find their real, actual pain points, not what you think they are. Then comes the magic. In a live workshop, you demo a solution to one of their own tedious tasks using AI. And just like that, the resistance melts away. After that, it's all about empowerment. You train them to do it themselves. And that final follow-up? That's where you make sure it sticks. And crucially, you find out who those AI champions are.
All right, now we get to the really good part. The payoff, because this foot-in-the-door approach of selling a small training workshop didn't just educate people, it led to an absolute explosion in high-value business.
I mean, just look at this. Of all the companies that bought that initial small training package, a staggering majority went on to buy much larger, much more expensive tech and automation services. The training wasn't the final product. It was the ultimate sales tool.
Yeah, 80%. Let that number sink in for a second. An 80% conversion rate from a small educational offer to a major tech client. That's just wild. This model effectively created its own customers by solving the people problem first. It's an incredibly powerful flywheel.
I mean, just think about the leverage here. A pretty small, maybe $6,000 workshop acts as the key. And by solving that immediate human problem, it unlocks the door to these massive, long-term partnerships worth tens of thousands of dollars. You go from being just another vendor to a trusted, long-term advisor.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean for anyone trying to build a business in the AI space? Well, it suggests there's a completely new playbook we should all be looking at.
The playbook is pretty clear, right? Start with the people, not the technology. Use education as your secret weapon, your most powerful sales tool. Turn their employees into your internal buyers. And remember, a small foot-in-the-door offer can be the key to unlocking massive contracts. You really don't have to be a coding wizard to build a successful AI business.
And that leaves us with one final big question to chew on. As technology gets more and more powerful, maybe the real bottleneck and the biggest opportunity isn't in building the tech itself, but in being a really great teacher, someone who can help people truly understand how to use it.